That's how we do that on a beautiful Friday morning. This is Like It Is Radio. It'll be 90 next week. Can you believe that? 90 degrees next week. And anyway, this is Like It Is Radio. You can always go to check us out on Facebook to see how we're living, how we're moving, how we're growing through the community at Like It Is Radio. Please become a quick fan because I realized that the numbers of viewers that hit that page, the numbers of views, I'm in the thousands. I'm going to put it like that. I'm going to come out strong with this. We're in the thousands of viewers who go to Like It Is Radio to stay connected with different information. I got stuff with this. Thousands of y'all. Thousands of the constituents who already listen to Like It Is Radio. Y'all go to Facebook and see Like It Is, and you make comments. You become friends sometimes. Well, not a lot. I used to say, I could have more friends. I could always have more friends. But we have thousands of visitors weekly. My engagements with some of the dialogue and some of the information that we put on Like It Is Radio on Facebook is really being globally well received. And I know especially here in Las Vegas with the election that just passed. So we're going to talk about a few things today. It's your man, Franklyn G, F to the Jizzle, student, Verley, whatever you want to call me. We're going to dialogue today because I think it's important that we reach out every now and then to check out what's going on within the community walls, especially after the election that just concluded here for several of the municipality districts, wards as they're called. So if you want to dialogue about that too, we're going to dialogue. But as you would know, Like It Is Radio is always also on Facebook Live. Yeah, you can check us out right now, Like It Is Radio on Facebook Live. Got my bike gear on and just got into the studio. You bike riders out there, and I mean motorcycles, if you're out there, please be safe. Watch out for us because I know some of us are just getting back into the swing of things, having not ridden the past couple of months. But you drivers out there with new cars that just don't respect the road properly, especially when you see that biker coming, just take it easy. Take it easy because we're trying to take it easy too. So be safe, and big shout out to all the riders out there. As I know the Laughlin River Run is coming. I'm thinking about journeying down there. I've been talking to some folks, so I know they don't let you wear your colors down there for the shopping entities, which is cool. Who cares about that? And if you're gonna shop, you're gonna shop. Make no difference what you're wearing. But I guess some of the rules and parameters are keeping some of the clubs away from the Laughlin River Run, which is at the conclusion of this month. But I'm going to ride down because I wear my Marine Corps colors, and those colors never fade, never run. So, again, as the bike season is upon us, please be safe. But you can check us out on Facebook, once again, at Like It Is Radio. The thousands of you that do, I really appreciate you coming and getting your information and sometimes making comments. We appreciate the fact that we can connect that way. My man, Crazy D, yeah, the film review dude, him and a lovely wife, and every Friday, they're here every Friday, but on every Sunday, you can check out their film review. Go to Like It Is Radio. We're connecting you with different groups. We got the Pills, as you know, they were just here. They're all over the place and back east and in Chicago, and they're doing their thing. I think he's down in Memphis now. The last time his is a Third Eye Thursday, so that's a really interesting time to connect with the youth, which is some of the dialogue we're going to do because today is an important day. Yeah, election season over. Thank God for all those who participated, the willing, the supporting, the sacrificed, and the congratulations to the winners, which are all of us, because if you participated, theoretically, you are a winner. If you did your American thing, theoretically, you are a winner. Big shout out to all of the people who participated in disseminating information, especially here at Power 88, with the great dialogue we had with the Ward 5 candidates. Those who wanted to participate did, and for what reasons, we had a great show. So a big shout out to all of those people who participated in front of the camera, behind the camera, beside the microphone. It takes a lot of people to make these broadcasts happen. It's not just me making a call or Mr. Knight making a call or AK making a call or Sweet Lou making a call. It's a consensus of the people and the concerted effort of the team in front of the mic, behind the mic to make those things happen. So again, if you participated to the 4,000, I'm being nice, in Ward 5 out of the 180,000, 4,000 out of 180,000. In any event, that direction has been chosen, and congratulations to the new councilman, returning councilman, incumbent councilman, placement councilman, who started, has been doing the work in the community for the past 18 months due to the short tenure of Mr. Ricky Barlow. But as you know, we got a new one in the house, and that's Mr. Cedric Creer, so hopefully he can work within the community, keep the community sustained in the vision he wants to provide, that he said it to us. He was willing to help to do some things. And again, one of the things I'd like to see redressed is Power 88. I don't live in Ward 5. My only concern in Ward 5 is Power 88. which we can disseminate information from in 2019 with the upcoming election of 2020, where else can you get pertinent, receptive, and definitely melanated directed and at least melanated responsive or melanated questions formulated other than Power 88? If the candidates don't choose to come here, then that speaks for them. But the opportunity to dialogue as I'm doing now, and you can become a constituent of Like It Is Radio because you're already listening by going to Like It Is Radio on Facebook and support Power 88. We just got finished with our pledge drive with all of the information that we provide here. It's the only vehicle, y'all. So what I'm suggesting is that the city of Las Vegas make some kind of concerted effort to make sure that Power 88 stays on the west side, and hope that the progress that is envisioned by the councilmen and the people who are around here with the development of this area will allow Power 88 to be on the airways at a reduced or beneficial, because right now it's beneficial, but at a reduced rate of whatever it is profit the city makes off this property, because it is a city-owned property. So again, I put that out there for the foresight of the commission and the leadership and the planning commission. How do we make Power 88 sustain in this revitalized, regentrified community? How do we sustain the growth that has allowed it to be here 44 years? 44 years. With this neighborhood changing as it should do, with the progressive monuments and things that are around Las Vegas, this area should be a flagship. And I'm sure that under the current leadership, it will be. But how will Power 88 fare in that new economy? Unless we have foresight right now from the leadership to place placements of financial restitution, I'm gonna call it that, but financial foresight to reduce the rates that Power 88 may have to incur due to the growth and the revitalization of this neighborhood. How do we keep that commitment alive? We can keep it alive by reducing the rent and all the payments that Power 88 has to make, as many other places in this city have been allowed to do. And I make that reference because I know the people out there who are listening know that this has got to be brought up before the referendum. It can't come under one banner. It has to come under a city banner. And with all the growth in this neighborhood, with all the growth projected for downtown, why is Power 88 not figured into that to allow them to have a reduced rate because of the profit factors that are marginalized by this community, or have been marginalized by this community, and to seek the future, making sure that the rents or whatever monies have to be paid to the city of Las Vegas come at a reduced rate to sustain Power 88's location on the west side, the historic west side, the regentrified west side, and now to be the new burgeoning growth west side. My only interest is Power 88 in Ward 5, and I'd like to see the leaders of this community get together to figure out, since the election's over, it's time for planning. It's time for if you will, bringing the bacon back home, the dollars back home, if you will. That's what they're pointing to do. You go up there, you're supposed to get something back. Okay, you there now, so let's get some planning to sustain Power 88 with a real understanding of the capitalization of this neighborhood due to regentrification. And I use the word gentrification, to make sure that even though this neighborhood may become pricey, the monies that Power 80 has to expend to the landlord in those type of fixtures or whatever it is maintained at a reduced rate. In New York, the Apollo Theater pays $1 rent per month to the city of New York. $1. And it has a $1 lease option for the first 100 years, and then changing that lease opportunity to $2 for the next 100 years. So let's just talk about reducing the rates that Power 88 has to maintain under the new leadership that has just been directed, which was also promised here and agreed to, I won't say promised, but agreed to figure out the way forward. In any event, as you know, today, it's tricked y'all, it's April 5th. You know what this day was? And I got to give a big shout out to the morning crew yesterday for their responsive understanding of how important yesterday was. How important that the change of mentality, the changes that are undergoing, and the changes that we are trying to get going, it just sounds a little funny. And, in as much as like, yesterday, I had an opportunity. I talked with my man DJ Thump in the morning crew, and I made them aware that yesterday was just a little bit, we needed to do a little direction. I know it was Classic Thursday. It was the day that, if you knew, Dr. King was assassinated. And I called those brothers, and I was like, I sent them a text, and they were able to respond. And that's what Power 80 can do. We can respond to what is happening within the community. We can, we have the ability to change the program based on the vicinities and the things that we have in common. So the things that we have in common are things like Dr. King's birthday, things like Dr. King's assassination date, things like understanding the conceptualization of having the programming to make that aware for the larger community, since it's not provided as it would be in different places. So my thought to them again, for the morning crew and DJ Benzo, who took time out to remind us that yesterday was an important day, the assassination date of Dr. King, which is pretty much went unrecorded, unnoticed, unmentioned, and other than anything else other than the funniness that goes on, we really didn't hear about it. So Power 88 was able to take a moment out of the good morning, and we can't even figure out what the other stations were thinking if they didn't mention it. How could it be that they did not mention the assassination date of Dr. King? Last year, the station was able to do a big thing because we celebrated the 50th anniversary or commemoration of the assassination of Dr. King. It just sounds a little funny, and that we didn't mention anything. So none of the stations really did, but Power 88 was able to change over and see what was happening in terms of the programming that we provide here at the People Station, understanding that the people had to be more aware of what is going on, and the programming that exists here that we are able to do made it better for you, because the information that we're provided here allows you to understand. Yesterday, Dr. King was assassinated, and the night before, while we were doing the breakdown, we had the moment to understand that that speech was made at the time that it was made. Dr. King's last speech, we were able to make reference of it during the breakdown. And that was a great thing, because we were able to be responsive to the needs and the understandings and the conceptualization and sometimes the entertainment of the community. But the reality of yesterday being the day that Dr. King was assassinated in Memphis in 1968. Last year we had the thing right in front of the monument. So I want to talk about that, because today, as you would know, in 1968, on the 5th of April, much of America was on fire. On fire, y'all. D.C., flames. Chicago, flames. Newark, New Jersey, burnt out. No flames in Harlem, though. I don't know. I will talk about my own experience. What I'm opening up to the community is the dialogue that we need to have. 2019, this day in America in 1968, America is in flames. National Guard on the trucks. Y'all they don't even tell us about that no more. They are downplaying and constantly trying to adjust our mentalities through the algorithms of television and Netflix by not providing us with the information of things happening or things that have happened. April 5th, America, 1968. Pull it up. Google it, fans. You will see much of America was on fire. Several of the major cities were worried. Several of the smaller towns. I don't know if Vegas did they have an uprising here in Vegas? I know y'all did for like Rodney King and stuff like that, but the reality of 1968, and now we are in 2019. So yesterday being the day that Dr. King was assassinated and all the stuff that went on through that night, that had to be a major policing night all over America. Wasn't even talked about. Nor is it talked about. Nor would it be talked about anyplace else but here. And like I said yesterday, when Benzo and the brothers and sisters of the morning crew decided to open our eyes to that fact and make us aware, it was interesting. So here we are, 2019, and I'm going to relate it to today because it's an intergenerational show. I'm going to talk to my youth. Whether you know it or not, several individuals, young folks gathered. I want to say they gathered. I don't want to call it an organization or whatever. I don't know how. I drove by on my own a couple of times. And I know Mr. Rodney Smith was out there. You know, what's up, Rod? I know you was doing a lot of things. But our larger organizations, I don't know what was going on. I don't know. But I know that if I did listen to the radio in Atlanta, they was talking about it. I did listen to the radio in Memphis. I listened to Jackson State's radio station. I listened to WLIB in New York. I listen to WAOK, and I think it's Atlanta, or WAOL, where Carl Nelson in D.C. Other folks was talking about it, and are still talking about it this morning, because this morning in America in 1968 was vicious upon the melanated individuals due to the death or the murder, the assassination, however you want to call it, all of that, of Dr. King's. There were several uprisings, or what you would call riots, or major confrontations, and burnt out a lot of area before Rodney King. So that time, that period. So last night, here we go. I drove by the statue, the monument, my favorite monument, and I had been there before for different events, but this night it seemed to be different. It was a different kind of population out there. Yeah, you could go to YouTube and see some of the youth. It was the youth, the tip of the spear. The tip of the spear, y'all. Now, I don't know if it was organized on the internet or social media or whatever. There was a lot of youth out there. And I don't want to say just youth. There were peoples there. But somewhere in there, I guess the message of Dr. King was kind of like mixed with the message of this individual who was just recently taken from us by one of us in the form of Nipsey Hussle. So somewhere in there, I guess that became a crying out phrase, and some of his rap musicology and some of the words were, they were relating Dr. King's moment to Nipsey and the gathering and the loss of this individual. Now, I'm not putting I know that the brother put in work. I respect that. I understand what he was doing was going to be beneficial for the community in which he resides, presenting that image of success coming back home, to being part of one's neighborhood. Now, don't get me wrong, he was, he rapped, but he was doing something. He was making a change. So somewhere in there, the melding of these two losses has happened. And I don't know, I'm just questioning, or I'd like to put it out to the dialogue of the family, after all the stuff that's going on, after, it was a rough month. We had R. Kelly, our Jesse, we had the other. It was a rough month. So here we are with the loss of this individual, and now Dr. King's assassination date, 51 years later, and those two mergings, those two losses, those two sorrowful events within our community have somehow bridged the gap. And I understand that this man did work and was planning to do work, and was of the work of the community, of actually bringing the dollars home and making it fruitful. All of that, I'm with it, plus mad lyrics, because I'll be honest, as an intergenerational baby boomer trying to be down, I knew him, but I didn't know him. I heard his name, and I was on the peripheral of the music. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not connected like that. But having been exposed to it now and hearing some of the stuff and becoming more aware of the influences that he made in the community by staying in the community and presenting a good direction of unity in the community. But these two meldings of the losses, that's my question. I recognize the work of Dr. King, and I recognize the foresightedness and the possibility of the work of this individual, Mr. Hussle, taking off the Nipsey Hussle. He was doing a lot of things. He was blinging a little gold. I ain't mad. I seen Tracy Morgan in diamonds, so I guess that Walmart money is good. But the doing it in one's neighborhood and the preservation of one's neighborhood is what we see when we have elections, as we just had these elections here. And not just here. We had elections in several communities throughout America, and all the numbers are low. All of the numbers are characteristically low in a time when things are more critical than before. So with looking at how the youth is not being, and I'm not saying they're not directed, I'm just saying that without guidance and the direction of portionality, they're able to connect Dr. King's vision in front of Dr. King's statue on the day Dr. King was we're mourning. And we mourn this together. Is all that comparison, is that the way it has to be? Is that the comparison needed to keep us together? Because I'm asking you, the things that are where we are conceptualizing now, are we still suffering under the same plights that Dr. King sacrificed for? Have we made much inroads when we have elected officials who, not just in our district, we saw the loss of Mr. Kewen, who came back home to try to get a chicken, so to speak, 5 votes. But in that total race, each of them, none of them had more than 500 votes. How is that possible with such large numbers? It's not just the apathy of our community, it's the apathy of America's. that we don't pay respect and homage and keep the connectivity and the guidance of things. And Dr. King's day or Dr. King's assassination is sacred. I'm going to put that out there like that. Dr. King and Dr. King's birthday, those are sacred things. I don't know. I know people have parties on his birthday. They have shop. Those are things that have to be sacred. Hanukkah is Hanukkah. 4th of July is 4th of July. There's no melding of those other two comparisons. Thanksgiving is for these holidays that we're melding or not providing the proper guidance and instruction to our youth to keep sacred, to keep traditional. Are we missing something? So I pose that to the community. You know, I appreciate all the folks who were out there. If he was out there for whatever reason, we have a statue. One of 26 cities that has a statue, and we don't have organization out there. Like I said, I went by. I'll be honest. You know, I didn't feel connected to what I had seen, so I didn't bother to stay. And I was like, okay, this is what they're doing. And then later through Facebook, I was able to see the direction in which it was going, and I kind of respect the youth. You know, the tip of the spear. But that guarantee of keeping Dr. King is Dr. King. That guarantee of keeping that vision, I'm kind of lost with that. You know, and I'm just going to take some calls here. I know I'm just, you know, I wanted to talk to the community, and I apologize that we're able to just grab something real quick and make that what it is. Make that connected to what it was. There are not many places or venues that we could talk, or many places we have dialogue. So I would put forth to you at this time of this energy here at Power 88, if you didn't participate in the pledge drive, check yourself. How is it that you're not participating? How did you not support the information that is provided here? There's only a few places to get information, right? Really. I mean, you could check out some of the magazines that, well, I'm calling magazines, pamphlets or informational purposes that come out. I'm digging on the Urban Voice myself, you know, because it comes out and there's lots of folks in there. Everybody seems to be smiling and happy, and they listen to some of the award ceremonies that have, you know, gone throughout the community. So I do appreciate that information, but where else do we get our information from? How else do we challenge the information that's being provided to us? All of those things happened in 2019. Like I said, the gathering of individuals that got out there yesterday. How did that manifest itself? There's a lot of parties that we know going on. Yeah, lots of parties. But the information of the gatherings and information of proportional distribution for creating wealth. Do we attend those things? Because they also recently this week, we had a thing at Nevada Partners. I want to say it was. With DJ Thump and the Morning Crew, and they all went out there after for jobs in this community, and we don't participate. But somehow the youth, they found a way. They got together at the statue, unbeknownst to many of us. If you participated out there with it, give me a holler at 702-647-3688. Let me know if anything that you wanted to dialogue about is important that happened out there. Let me know how you found out about the information to get out there. If you didn't hear about it, let me know what's going on when you didn't hear about it. Because we provide information here. How is it those gatherings can happen and we're not supported as a community? I'm serious, it's 2019. We are in the beginning or really in the midst of the election season. As you see, one of our local past elected officials made national news by saying, hey, he smelled me, he kissed me, and now it's Miss Lucy Flores, who's been in the studio. I've dialogued with her a few times. But now she's made national news by the awakening of possibly the overlooking of the way men have treated women on campaigns and just in general. That intergenerational perspective. You can't just, rug up on people no more. But in any event, as you know, we're in this, how are these things missing the larger black community? Where is our dialogue and perception on that? How are we not communicating in 2019? Y'all all rushed out to see Us. Made Us the #1 movie. Y'all see Us? I'm going to talk about that too because we got to get into Us. To me, I know we got some phone callers on there. I know y'all ready to go. I've been holding you for a minute. 702-647-3688. Yeah, Us is out there. if you don't see the images that are being portrayed to, I don't even know. The brother in the movie was the weakest black man I've seen since the election. Let me stop. That brother, did you see Us? Do you see how they're portraying black men? Oh, the little boy is the devil. The little black boy was I'm sorry, that was, I guess, what did they call that? A buster? I busted it open. If you didn't, what did they call that? I forgot there's a term that when you mention the movie ahead of time. What?
Spoiler.
A spoiler alert. I should have developed a spoiler alert. Maybe you won't see it the way I see it. Maybe you saw it and didn't see that they made the little black boy the devil at the end of the movie. I spoiler alert. I'm sorry, but it was shot very well and great acting. You know, I guess we're gonna be this Halloween. We gonna buy them red suits, huh? We gonna buy a red suit, Crazy D. Get some scissors and gloves. Yeah, everybody shaking their head. If you didn't see Us, go see it, because what's happening right before our face. They made. Spoiler alert! If you go see Us, you may not see it. Everybody 3, 4. You may not even see it that way. But I'm just putting it out there. There's so many things that are befalling us as a community, and we're not understanding and are dialoguing about it. Even here, we're dialoguing more, as you know, in the morning crew. But Michael Basin wants to dialogue more. There's more black TV shows that are coming on. Dialogue is where it's at, y'all. But I'm gonna get out the way. If you want to dialogue, if you saw Us, if you was a participant in the recent, and I recognize I've just mixed things there, but if you happen to have understood yesterday, and you went to the statue, and you weren't of that generation, I want to know what brought you out there. If you didn't know, I want to know how you found anything that you wanted to dialogue, because today, the headlines in America in 1968 was much of America was on fire. On fire! Due to the assassination of Dr. King. And we can't even get a firecracker going now. You know, we can't get nothing up with it. But there's gonna be a party tonight. I'm not saying don't go to Chrome. I say go to Chrome because, you know, black people going to be there. Maybe we can shut the music off for a minute because much of America was on fire today. Much of America was on fire today. And we under just as much fire they was in 1968. We had the Motown sound in 68. We ain't got that now. You know, there was just a couple of diseases from sex. Now it'll kill you. Oh, we had the war. I guess the war's still going on. Yeah, you could blow up. You could blow up from sex. But I mean, 68, we got all these things going on, and here we are, 2019, and none of that is really being talked about. So I'm going to get out the way. Let's get these phone callers on. If you want to dialogue, if you don't think the devil is the black man, that's what I saw in Us. That's the end of my spoiler alert. But it was a good movie, and, you know, you'll figure out where you are. I just want to know where you are. Good morning. Welcome to the Like It Is Radio Nation. Tell me you got me locked in on Facebook. You're a constituent. You're already listening. Hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
Bonjour.
This is Melita.
Well, good morning. How are you?
Fabulous. I wanted to talk about DJ Thump and then mention that yesterday AMC at Town Center was giving the viewing of the Martin Luther King assassination and his talks and marches in Selma for free yesterday. And I brought my children. However, there was probably less than 20 people who attended a free event. This documentary started at 6. It ended shortly after 9. It was very informative. It showed Coretta. It showed Sidney Poitier. It had so much information. I'm a 41-year-old woman trying to educate my kids on information that has been hidden and only certain things talked about. But yesterday was very, very educational, but I was disappointed to not see that it packed in that theater.
Wow.
And I did see Us, and I understand that comment on the end. It's interesting, yeah.
Well, you know, what happens is the information that could be provided, we give a big shout out to the Eclipse people over there in the theater. I wish that we had gotten a more notification because we'd get more participation. But then again, there's a phrase that I use here, and it's not just for, you know, us. Negroes be faking. But they gonna be online. And like I said last night, even though that was going on, there were a lot of youth and a lot of younger folks over at the statue. So, you know,
yes.
Did you happen to know about that?
Again, I was a drive-by, but I did not know about that. I didn't hear the notification. I heard about the notification over 88.1 for the viewing. But it's good to know, however, they communicated and gathered that was done.
Right. Well, we appreciate you listening, and this is the place to get the information because other places can play our music, but they can't do us. You know what I'm saying, sister?
Yes,
So,
yes,
again,
definitely. So, and I could keep listening. And Vegas, come on, I want to see us all out and fill in studios and get more educated information on our history.
Well, that's what it's all about. Thank you so much for calling in to Like It Is Radio Nation. You have a wonderful weekend.
You too, thank you.
All right, I guess we got some more callers on the phone line, and I guess you see that's the responsitivity of Power 88. Big shout out to the Eclipse to recognize that there was going to be a vacuum of information and trying to provide it. There's so many places that do. I'm not putting anybody that down that doesn't. And I know there's a lot of stuff going on yesterday because I also got to take time out and give my man E.C. Adams a big shout out. It was his Earth Day. And I know how difficult it is having an Earth Day on a day that people. I got friends that got birthday on 9/11. Talk about not being able to go out. But again, a big shout out to Mr. E.C. Adams because it's one of the glorious things in our community when we can sponsor somebody who does the work of supporting our community by uplifting us through song, dance, and just making everybody feel love. So a big shout out to E.C. and all the folks that was out there with him because I know there's a lot of things that go on. But Power 88 is the only place you can really touch the nose to see what's going on. Whether you want to find it out in an urban voice or you want to find it out on Commissioner Weekly show or even my man Don Marquez has his business show. Or if you trying to get at home like Mr. DeVille's doing with you. Where else you could get all this at any place? Power 88. 2019, trying to make a difference, connecting with the community on so many levels. So again, let's get back into the phone lines because it's 1968, this day, we was on fire. America was calling out the National Guard. There were a lot of things that went on. How did you show your respect for Dr. King? Were you even mindful it was Dr. King's assassination day? And that there was a major manhunt going on across America right now? Across the world? Anyway, let's just keep on moving. Good morning, how you doing? Welcome to the Like It Is Radio Nation. Oh, you already hung up? Oh, you already blown out of here. Well, we're going to keep it going because whatever you were trying to say, we definitely wanted to hear. So you can hit us up on the phone lines because this time in America, 2019, Like It Is Radio, trying to connect with you, we find out that everything is it's just such a mess. With more access to information, we are less informed. With more access to voting and things of that nature, we are not participating. 2019, in this world now, America was on fire. America was on fire due to the assassination of Dr. King. And I was going to play some of Dr. King's words today, but I figured that, it would be better to dialogue if y'all wanted to dialogue about why we are not connected to understanding that America changed. And America is changing again before our face. That this upcoming election season that we are in, deals have already been made here in Las Vegas. Who going to run for county seat? Who not going to run? There's deals that are being made right now that are going to affect us in this community, right here, because the way they're carving it up, it ain't no better than the large distribution of plans that we have seen throughout America and those other small places where we're finding that the redistribution or the rededication of lines are changing the voter registration perspectives for these upcoming elections. And how here in Las Vegas now, some of the things that are being talked about upstate right now, we're not participating in. We're not getting the information that we needed to get, nor are we participating at the level we need to participate. I'm just telling you, just a belief. Do you know that they're going to have a Moulin Rouge license plate? Or they're proposing to have that? What's your feeling on that? Many of the listeners right here in this community were directly affected or had their lives changed by the Moulin Rouge. That emblem can be now placed on, yes, or possibility exists that the emblem could possibly be placed on a license plate that would further generate money for the state. But there is no Moulin Rouge anymore. Where does that Moulin Rouge emblem money go to? I think the VA gets some of that money for the veterans things. I got it on my motorcycle. I don't know. You got to pay extra for it. But the reality in 2019, that Dr. King's birthday, is just amazing to me. Amazing that it was not considered again. And I recognize 50 was big, so we did it big at Power 88. And you can go to Like It Is Radio on Facebook and my man Crazy Dion's page because we did a commemoration ceremony out there for 50, being one of 26 cities that has a statue. We had lots of folks out there, and it wasn't even was it an election year? It's always an election year out here somewhere. But as you know, we had lots of folks who were there, who were speaking. And again, the fact that we put that on here at the station, what the other places do, what organizations do. I'm just asking you, Power 88, 2019. If you don't see what's going on and the station's not bringing it to you the way you need, what changes would you like to have in terms of the dialogue that needs to be bring forth to make us participate? We just had the Arbor View parents in here, a few are parent on Wednesday. We're trying to figure out who's coming in and who's going out. Trying to keep you informed through dialogues, through conceptualizations of just what it is. And is our caller who just called and said she participated. How many of y'all knew that this thing at the Eclipse was happening? That there was the opportunity to go out and see Dr. King's words or visualize or just spend a moment in commemoration of the King, of understanding what it was we lost on that day in 1968 at the hands of an assassin. Albeit the conspiracy theories that went into all the stuff that happened less than 24 hours after this Mr. Russell, Nipsey, excuse me, messing it up there, Hussle, I keep messing up, even though his inference is to Mr. Nipsey Russell, the brother, they were saying that this was a conspiracy to put him down. I don't know. If you think it's a conspiracy, why? How could it have happened so fast? As we see the tapes now that the gentleman had an altercation, came back, he was loaded, he was strapped. He even had the audacity to kick the victim in the head. If you haven't seen the video, it's pretty graphic. But all of that was captured. And I don't understand, like I said, where is the guidance of our community? Understanding everything that he meant to the youth. If you're there and you want to explain more of what he meant to you here in Las Vegas, or you who was a transplant from Los Angeles, or if you knew something about the words that he was putting forth, his energies, prior to his death, don't get me wrong. The larger faction of musicians, that's not what we're responsive to. They're not responsive to that. They're responsive to Cardi B. Cardi B, how many billboards she get? 20, 30, whatever. This cat was trying to make a difference, and even within the difference-making community, he wasn't respected. The music is the way to the kids. But if it's being controlled and conceptualized by others and pushed forth by energies or entities that are based on algorithms, not lifting up rhythms, that's why this guy, he was nominated for the Grammy. He did things, but he wasn't the Grammy winner. We see the way they hold on to the music. Do you know there's a country singer? And I heard his name. I was just reading about him. An African American. He wrote a song, and it was pretty good on the billboards. But when it came time to an awards ceremony, he was overlooked. And the categorization is he didn't fit the country, western, whatever his demographic. So the song had to be reshot, which he reshot. And I believe he did it with, I forgot the other, but a big country guy. I think it's the guy from The Voice. But in any event, he reshot it, and now they're willing to take it because it has a different entity on it. So again, just shows you the control of the music, even though the youth love it and they make millions off it. Who controls the direction of that music, or who are the persons that make sure that the people, like this gentleman, his growth in music. If you heard do you remember how many? I heard he had quite a few mixtapes out. So, I mean, a lot. More than like 10, more than 12. So I guess I heard like maybe 17, 8. I heard early stuff. And then I heard the stuff that allowed him to get produced and to be on the phone lines and, all that kind of stuff. But the people who supported the music, this cat didn't get an award. Even within their own movement, the youth. You guys aren't being respected because Cardi B is up there. I'm not saying that this year. I'm just saying in general. That type of aspiration for music, even though he was talking about getting even, getting yours, getting paid, he wasn't shaking his booty and he wasn't doing it in a sexual manner that sometimes we can see Nicki and these other ladies. Even Beyonce, he was putting out energy to change the community. The same kind of thing happened in rap before when you had guys like KRS-One and Public Enemy versus whatever the hip-hop genre of that time. Even though I love my man, Kool Moe D and these brothers, even though I dig Ice Cube, and Biggie, that's the hero. But these guys, man, that was putting out real music, the Poor Righteous Teachers and the guys like that, they weren't getting the awards. So that's why we didn't know them. Anyway, the phone line's done blown up. Sometimes I go on. I'm sorry. You know how we do. Good morning. Welcome to the Like It Is Radio Nation. Tell me you got me locked in on Facebook because you're part of the 1 of 1,000 list. Man, you know how many people hitting me up on Facebook that don't want to join, they don't want to be my friend, but they come see the information? A lot. In any event, tell me you're a constituent, you're already listening, you got me locked in on Facebook. What's up, brother, sister?
Icy Jones right here, man. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Icy, man? I appreciate your gospel talent, man. I'm sorry we couldn't get you up there, but next time we got a project, and I appreciate the awards you're getting. Yo, you part of it, man.
Oh, yeah, man. All the time. I appreciate the invite, So I'm getting chimed in. Is he more important than Dr. King to the youth? I think it's incomparable. It's incomparable. And I don't think we should even, try to compare the two. It's two different generations, and when it comes to the death of Dr. King, we more celebrate his life than we do his death. So, everybody, the youth and everybody in between celebrates his birthday by going out to the parade and, enjoying themselves for his life. But many people still are trying to find out more information about Dr. King's death, and actually more information just came about saying that he was actually alive in the hospital and they suffocated him.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we still finding out new things about his death, and then having, the internet and people with their camera phones and stuff were able to find out more.
This is another great episode of the Film Review.
We are the husband and wife team. We are the husband and wife team. We are the husband and wife team. Stay tuned. We're the husband and wife team. I'm Crazy D. And this is the Film Review. Stay tuned. We got a lot to talk about. We are the husband and wife team that review movies, music, culture, politics, and society.
This is the Film Review. Movies, music, culture, politics, and society. We're the husband and wife team. I'm Crazy D.
Tracy.
And we review movies, music, culture, politics, and society.
Sunday at 5:30 on Crazy Dion page on Facebook. Live stream. The Film Review. Movies, music, culture, politics, and society.
This is the Film Review.
That's how we do that on a beautiful Friday morning. This is Like It Is Radio.
And then now he, net worth $8 million, has his own masters, like Master P or E40, like that's from rags to riches. And that's the actual story that everybody wants in hip-hop now, because we all want to be independent. And that's just the path he took. And, man, that's why he's permeating through the whole world right now. So that's my take on it. I don't know if I'm right in line with what you're talking about, but I hope so, because I was just chimed in on Facebook, and then I got chimed in by Crazy on the call in. So I hope I'm in line with what you're talking about.
Well, no, you are, man, because it's all about what you guys say. It's what you guys, not to say you guys, the community at large. This is the opportunity we get to sit around the fire or the stones or whatever you want to call it on the porch in the backyard and just talk, because there are no wrong perspectives. They're just our perspectives, which are not often paid attention to. So I do appreciate it. Where's your next gig at, man? Tell us how we can hook up with you.
Oh, man, just follow me online, man. I'm more so tuned in to Hot Tea with Icy Jones on Hot 702 and on Facebook. And, man, I'm just working on this music behind the scenes right now. I just dropped something, a little campaign to see if everybody will support and get my new project home run, hard copy-wise. So I did pretty well. Sold 50 copies in less than a week. So I'm extremely happy about that. And that's pretty much where I'm at. My next event, man, I'm just trying to put it together myself. I just did the Thunderbird Lounge. I did the pull-up, with Sir Charles over there. That was dope. And some great people networking. So, just dabbling, dibbling, doing what I love to do, and that's being an entrepreneur and an entertainer.
All right, well, appreciate what you got going on. And, we always appreciate hearing from the next connection, and that's part of what you do, man. So stay up, Icy, man. One of the new scene people hitting us up with a different kind of rap, but connected to the community. So, again, thank you so much, Icy. We're going to put your stuff on ours at the end of the show so they can connect with you, man. Appreciate you listening.
Appreciate you.
All right, man. We got some more phone callers. We're going to move right through. Good morning. Welcome to the Like It Is Radio Nation. Tell me you got me locked in on Facebook. You're a constituent. You're already listening.
Hello?
You got it.
This is Good Luck Tommy. Hey, put something out there. Okay, when Tupac got killed out here, all the people that were surrounding him disappeared the next day. So I want everybody to pay attention and watch what happened to Nipsey Hussle. That was a confrontation that happened when Tupac got shot that night. Same thing with him. All you have to do is set it up that way. You have a confrontation so they give them an excuse to come back and do something. I want people we don't have the resources and to be able to do the real research, find out who this guy is, how he got out of jail, and all of the different aspects that other people are able to do. That guy, when they And it's still a conspiracy. That guy had a good reputation in L.A. That guy had no reason to come in there and talk about he asking for a job or whatever the situation was. You guys do some research and get the resources together and pay attention to what happened, what's going on with this guy, and where he came from.
All right. So you think there's a conspiracy connection to his assassination or his murder, his death, however you want to phrase it?
Oh, heck yeah. Man, this stuff don't happen. This guy had a documentary that was coming out about Dr. Sebi.
Yeah, but do you think that the larger powers would have sent somebody just to assassinate or remove the possibility of Dr. Sebi's information getting out there?
No, because you can go get any brother like this brother that they got, and you can pay this guy. Come on, man. They making it look like we're just kids, man. Look into it. Do some serious research before people get out there and start making these claims. Find out about this guy. Do the research about this guy.
Right? No.
It looks all good on the video, but man, they set us up like this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's very similar to what happened to Tupac.
Well, now that Nick Cannon has said he gonna step up, and big shout out to Nick for being part of the community and always reaching back when he does, you know what I mean? But if the project was to be stopped due to this individual working on it, and now Nick says he's gonna wouldn't that put a target on Nick's back?
No. Okay, I know what you're saying. That's not the only thing Nipsey Hussle has done. So obviously he was doing a lot more. Just like Kaepernick is, going to talk to the police department and end the gang violence. Come on. That's what, when you start ending violence like that and people stop shooting each other, man, that's a lot of revenue, and the court system, the lawyers, and everybody lose money. Come on now. We got to start thinking, you're in metaphysics, we have to start thinking like metaphysical people. What's really surrounding them? Yeah, Nick, I don't think nothing's probably going to happen to Nick Cannon right away, but you need a group of people to be able to protect yourself when you're doing something like that. Man, look how much money that the pharmaceutical industries can lose if they got that information about Dr. Sebi. Look at all the people who died around Dr. Sebi. Look how Dr. Sebi even died.
No, and I respect the work of Dr. Sebi. I've known about him for a while before he was even big. I had the opportunity of being in New York with the slave theater. But with the reality of Dr. Sebi, right, and even at that, let's just take this back home. If you notice something on you, right, because we from around the way, all right, I got my boys with me, and I'm just going to say this. How could that happen if you know that you could be a target anytime? You got your people there, your security team, for lack of a better term, right? Don't get me wrong. And I know that some of them brothers should have been strapped if they wasn't, and I know they may have had records so they couldn't be strapped. But when you know you under fire, when you know you could be taken out, don't you need to respect yourself by having the proper security around you and hiring brothers who are also mindful of that fact and respectful? Because they you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, if you're rolling like that, you in the gang. Come on, you ain't in the gang life.
Wait. You're talking from a wise man's perspective, and the same thing I say with Tupac. Tupac didn't have the right people around him as well. But we listen to people like Bobby Emmett, Dr. Bland. I can name a whole bunch of them. These are the wise people that we're supposed to be listening to. But yeah, if this guy would have known, this is some deep stuff. Man, you see right around the west side where they're putting up dialysis places and all of this stuff, and then they got fast foods everywhere. Come on. This medical industry makes a lot of money from people getting sick, and most people are dying of cancer. Dr. Sebi is the one who also has, he helped Elijah Muhammad put the Eat to Live book together.
No, I know what you're saying. I'm just saying that we got to examine it from all sides, because even if you go back to Malcolm, some of Malcolm's people wasn't Malcolm people, because the same thing. How did they roll up on him like that? Where was, you know what I'm saying? We got, as you see, being metaphysical. If you know you're doing the right thing and you got to be protected from the energies that are always against us, you got to be, conforming with that energy and put like the Minister Farrakhan. You ain't gonna get to Farrakhan. You can't even get to Farrakhan when it's just Farrakhan. There's 700 people there.
Please don't mention him, because as soon as he got into the nation, and I know they got something on Farrakhan, as soon as he got into the nation got watered down. The true leaders that had a movement in the nation was Malcolm X and Khalid Muhammad. And if you do some research on that, you'll understand. Oh man, you'll understand why I'm extremely pissed off about Farrakhan. But things that we're able to do and to protect ourselves and everything, but man, it's really rough, man. We cannot protect ourselves from this evil, man. Whenever they want to do something, they can do it. We practically need nuclear weapons and something 10 times powerful than nuclear weapons to protect the interests of black people whenever we move toward a direction to do something. Because every time you turn around, our leaders or whatever, they just get taken out by the other man's weapon.
Well, let me offer this to you because I got some other phone lines over. We got something 100 times more powerful than all of that. We got 88, man. And just like this, me and you could dialogue. That's armor. You know what I'm saying? Because if somebody else hears in us dialoguing, it's medicinal to their purpose to know they're not thinking by themselves, that they're not crazy in their circumstance. But again, thank you so much for listening, man. And don't forget, Mr. Comrade Muhammad was a good brother too. But anyway, we're going to get to the next phone line. Appreciate you listening. You can hit us up. This is what we do here. We're dialoguing with you as a family members. If there's any more family members want to get involved, hit us up. We're ready to go with the next one. Good morning. How you doing? Welcome to the Like It Is Radio Nation. Tell me you got me locked in on Facebook. You're a constituent. You're already listening.
Hello.
Hello. Bonjour.
I am very, very thrilled with your radio station, and I have to apologize. I was coming down to contribute, and I will. But I have the most powerful statement for us. I've been listening to you all morning and being patient enough to hang on. We need to choose this day who we will serve. We are out there in the streets. I see everything that we promote, but we never really step back and realize the good and the bad in it. And that's where we're losing our children. We're losing them through parenting. We're not encouraging them to go to college. So we need to choose this day who we will serve, before we all get destroyed. And thank you very much.
Well, thank you for listening, and we always take your support. We are here 24/7 for that. There's a Cash app, and you can always come on down here and see lovely Joy, who's celebrating her Earth Day today. She'll be out at Chrome, but again, I appreciate you listening, and have a wonderful day.
And I will be there to donate. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for keeping us on the air. That's what it's all about. 702-647-3688. We got the family in the middle of this thing. Good morning. How you doing? Welcome to the Like It Is Radio Nation. Tell me you got me locked in on Facebook. You're a constituent. You're already listening.
Alito, how's it going, Franklyn G? I'm on your wigwam level. What's good?
Oh, you tell me, man. What you got?
Okay, this is it. You got your pen ready? I'm gonna give it to you.
But I tell you what, are you on speakerphone? Because we got a lot of feedback. We'd like to hear you clearly, cuz. So if you want to give us some.
Yeah. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, well, we'll take what we can get. Not much, but we're just trying to make sure we get the clarity needed provided. So if you provide information, people can hear you. What you got?
Okay. All right. I got the speaker off. So let's go. I want you to write down 11 April 1968. 11 April 1968. Public law is 90-284.
Okay.
Public law 90284. That's the Civil Rights Act. And, our people suffer from not actually reading it. So I know you're going to do your due diligence. When you read Title I, it's going to talk about all the things that went down on the 5th with riots.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time you get down to Title II, Title II does not protect African Americans, does not protect blacks, does not protect coloreds, does not protect Negroes. You, sir, have to put yourself in position to take possession.
Okay, what is that? Well, and you're saying that these are laws that came out after the 5th, based on the riots and the things that were happening across America due to the assassination of Dr. King?
It was our way of forcing them, sir, into a treaty. The Civil Rights Act is a treaty. Public Law 90-284. We have the right to govern ourselves, but we cannot be anything other than Indians. Period. Point blank.
So that would be just on the protected territorial lands, or how would that work in Detroit? How would that work in Compton? How would that work on Fulton Street in Atlanta?
You go back to what your grandmother told you, and you look at the lands and the counties and the rivers. Those are the names of your people. Mississippi, Alabama, Tallahassee, Tennessee, Chattanooga. Those are not English. They are not French. They are not Spanish words, sir.
Right.
Those are the names of the people of the indigenous to the Americas, and that's what they were marching for.
Okay, but representing that they probably took over the names of the territories based on the Indians or the provinces that were there. how does that make that name jurisdiction more germane to Africans? Because those are Native Americans.
Well, you might have to check your belly button and see if you go to Africa, sir. Because the Africans are foreigners here in the Americas. We as indigenous Americans are not foreigners, and so we have the rights to self-govern.
Respected is it, but as I'm saying, for most African Americans, that transatlantic journey in the belly button thing, that's going to separate us, because if you do 23andMe or something to that effect, it's going to take you to the continent.
No, listen, brother, please. Ask your grandma where you from. Ask your great-grandmother where she is from.
Right, no, but that's what I mean. But that's the thing. It makes it American, right? So that would be American exceptionalization. Somebody like me, I have one grandmother that comes from China, and I have one grandmother that comes from Costa Rica. What do you do with me? Am I not an African? Because both of my parental lineages, in terms of my father's side, are Jamaican. So what does that make me?
Okay, so if you're an African and you come from a country in Africa, then you are here as a green card holder, yes?
No, I'm here. Well, I'm saying I'm first generation born in this country, but my lineage doesn't link me to this country. It links me to the Pan-African trade that existed in Jamaica and in Costa Rica.
So if you say Jamaica, Jamaica is a part of America. If you say Haiti, Haiti is a part of America. If you say Bahamas, you say Puerto Rico, you say Costa Rica, that is of the Americas. I would be, and if I was in your situation, I would be looking for the Arawak.
Well, understanding, but that's a...
You tie yourself, sir, you have to tie yourself to this land unless you are a foreigner.
Does not my birth in this country allow me to be considered an American based on the citizen rights of birthright?
You may be a United Statesian, but you are not an American.
Man, I wish you would have called earlier, because we got a lot of dialogue. I wouldn't want to be, as a Jamaican, I wouldn't want to be a Jamaican, other than the traditional understanding. I want to be known as a Jamaican American. I want to be known as a Costa Rican American, thus making me the Pan-African dream that Marcus Garvey and Malcolm talked about. It does, as my grandmother used to tell, don't make no difference, you drop me here, Mr. Black. You know, that's what I'm saying. So even though she spoke Spanish...
That's my point, is that if you acquiesce and you take on the term African American, there's no treaty, there's no law that protects you. There's no treaty or law that protects black people. There's no law or treaty that covers colored people. You see, they've been putting us in a trick bag, and they keep moving our identity and our classification every 30 to 40 years. So what I'm saying is, if you go back to who your great-grandma is, you find yourself on this land as an original person, not an African, not an Asian, but an American, and that's the title you pick up and put on yourself.
Okay, but if I wanted to be more expansion and just, like I said, limiting the transatlantic experience to the American exceptionalism, which is basically Americans are better than everybody else, they should be treated and cut out of it, because that's what ADS is saying, ADOS. What I'm expressing to you is that the whole convision or the whole moving of the bodies of people for capitalism, yes, was based in America, but I don't want to remove my Jamaican or my Costa Rican or my Asian heritage, because I believe that's what makes me an American. The fact that you can come here and have all of those things. But I tell you what, brother, we are just out of time. I'll tell you what, if you will hold on a second, I want to get your name and your number, because we want to holler. We got to get more dialogue going. It's 2019. We was on fire. Hold on a second, my brother. We can get this information from you, because we could dialogue about that. We could do a little show on it, but just hold on a second. I'm going to get on up out of here, because, you know, it's time for the music. Hey, it's important that we dialogue. It's important that we get together and dialogue. Thanks again to all those who participated in the election. Make sure you find out your way to get some information. Check out the new Urban Voice. Your man Franklyn G has been again writing, and you're picking up the pen, because just as this brother was talking about, American exceptionalism. American exceptionalism. What does that mean to you? Am I not down with the reparation movement? This is where we're going with it. Again, go see us. We're going to talk about that next week, because it boils down to they make the little black boy the devil. That's the spoiler alert. But it's good. It's shot well. And I just want to know, who you going to be this Halloween, sister? I know you're going to be red. I know you're going to be one of them walking around kind of funny. Go see the movie so we can dialogue about it, because these images are going all across the world, and they're conceptualizing different things, and they're talking about it in different ways. You can go see the film review on Sunday. My man Crazy D, it's your man After the Jizzle, Franklyn G, and we're going to get up on out of here. And remember, dialogue. Where there is no dialogue, there's two reasons. One, they scared of you. Two, they don't want you to know. That's how we do that on a beautiful Friday morning. This is Like It Is Radio.
Here's the thing about your movie, why I made a curator's pick of the Hollywood Fringe Festival. Community, heart, crazy.